very complicated job, but I love simple things so much.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions. The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here with more CCT action. And of course, with me is the one and only, the glorious, the beautiful Nexus, aka Rope. Nexus, we've just seen HAVU being defeated. Unfortunately, only a single map that they played, but it is what it is there. Moving on forward now to the game that we've been promising, the game that we are about to see. Apeks facing off Coalesce. It is around the round of 16. It is Apeks. We've seen them hot on the trail of many a team, and now facing the underdog Coalesce. How do we feel about this one?
I'm unsure how we feel about this one. I mean, you put them as an underdog, but from what I can tell, Coalesce have been on a fairly decent winning streak, or a streak of sorts. They've only had a couple of losses in their past few games or whatnot. They've been looking pretty decent. They even, they beat the big boys of the UK Endpoint themselves, a couple of weeks back. Not too bad as of recent results. But Apeks themselves, I think similarly, they've been finally starting to look like a stable team themselves, looking solid. Maybe it's just a bit of a phase? Who knows? I would hope not.
I would hope not either, but let's look over the format. Let's look over the schedule of the day and how the games have been going on so far and where we've landed. Of course, as we said, it is the last game for today, but right now the format for the tournament, if you guys are forgetting, this is basically the kind of like the end of the road for many of these series. Luckily for us, this is the first of the West European series, so we're only at the start of it here, but it is the playoffs already, so the end of the start of the series itself. Obviously followed by a studio LAN final, and later on in 2024 a global LAN final. Either way, the schedule for today was, as mentioned, the schedule for the tournament is as seen from 20th to 23rd. The playoffs will be seeing the finals on the 23rd alongside the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. But to be more exact, so we've got this game between Apeks and Coalesce, this game that's been you said you don't feel like it's an underdog. They're not the underdog if I talk about Coalesce. I would disagree in a way. If nothing else, they are facing a team that, whilst it had its issues, right? Apeks definitely had their ups and downs for the most part of 2022. At the end of it, I distinctly recall they really raised the bar in a way, and kind of popped off here in 2023. Hopefully they can retain that top 40 spot.
I mean, with the addition of Kixon as the new in-game leader, things have been on a bit of an upward trajectory. They found themselves a pretty decent position, as you mentioned as well, kicked off 2023 at a pretty good position. Hopefully that continues, and we'll see if everyone else as well here. I think most of the players you're looking at here, you kind of know of them as well.
Yeah.
Individual skill ceiling, very high on every single one of these players. That's the big issue, or not an issue, but a big flag that they're carrying as they're going into any game. You don't know who's going to have their best game of the day, or who's going to have their best day. And how many, actually. Because any one of them could drop 40 kills, and you're going to be like, okay. That's pretty nice.
Pretty much, yeah. You do put a good point, right? Everybody is capable of some insane plays. I mean, we've got Knock on the op, who's going to be knocking on your doors consistently. JL, who's a monster with a rifle. Jakem, not even to mention how good he can be with both flanks and entries. And Stiko, well, I think not much needs to be said about the Slovakian monster.
Man, he put him in a clutch and he'll win it half the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of 50-50, isn't it? Meanwhile, you know, Kixon, quick mention as well, the Macedonian player who's been playing for the last few years in the lower tiers, we can say. He had a stint in BLUEJAYS beforehand, teams that never really amounted to too much, but, you know, he's got his experience grinding, and hopefully in Apeks he'll find his home to be a welcome one. On the other hand, though, talking about the team that we mentioned a few times, but never really got to see them in action, at least not to this degree. Now, finally, in the playoffs, it's Coalesce, a UK organization that has quite a few UK players, with Shine and Kirsten as two from Bulgaria and, of course, Norway. As we can see here, Docs, Leaf, HAVU, and then Kirsten and Shine.
Yeah, you know, there's no as much we can really say about these guys as, you know, as we could about the other side. Now, if we were heavy viewers of the UK scene, perhaps, but so far, one thing we can say, upward trajectory. They've been looking pretty good. On Twitter, I follow a couple people. They've been posting good things about him every now and then. They've been really happy with how they've been playing. Hopefully, we can see that today as well.
Yeah.
But besides that, a bit of a question mark for me, but look at this veto. Now, I'll get into Anubis a little bit later, but for now, we gotta see that as the first map for Apeks.
Yeah.
Right onto Inferno, and a little bit of overpass if we need a third map. Now, give your quick thoughts. Coalesce, what do you think they're gonna do on Anubis? Have they played the maps?
Oof, this is a hard one to tackle. They've played it recently against Illuminar about like a week ago, give or take. They did lose it 16-7, and given that we've just seen Illuminar take down HAVU with a comeback, maybe not that big of a surprise. Beforehand, they played it twice, excuse me, but under a different org, so we can't really count them as such. One thing I would mention, perhaps, is the fact that they did play both Overpass and Inferno against iNation, the team that qualified, the Serbian team that qualified for RMRB of Europe. I believe it is RMRB of Europe. But regardless, Depression, Kindo, Dragon, Choiv, and Vladan. But the thing is, you know, they really, if you are able to take away a map from iNation, if you're playing both Overpass and Inferno against them, and whilst you're losing, you're still giving them a good fight, I think there's a lot to look at and be proud of as Coalesce, and just hopefully you can learn from it as much as you can. Not to mention the fact that they basically made it out of the Swiss stage almost at a 3-0 result. Unfortunately, coming up against iNation was their undoing, but then defeating Illuminar, like I said, a week ago, at 2-1. To secure the 3-1 spot of the Swiss stage. So Coalesce definitely have the firepower. Now, the skill ceiling, perhaps not as distinct, or at least not as known to us two. But I'm excited to see how they can perform on Anubis, especially since it is the map pick of Apeks. It seems like this is their counter pick. Inferno, I think it's going to be hard regardless of who we're talking about here. It's going to be a difficult map to play for one and the other. Perhaps a little bit easier for Coalesce since it's their home turf map. And then on Overpass, there's a distinct advantage for Apeks.
Yeah, now, what I wanted to mention a little bit about Anubis. You know the last game we just saw, the HAVU Illuminar game? You said you wanted to see a lot more aggression on the CT side towards canals and water and whatnot. Now, I'm going to roll back a little bit. About a month or so ago, I saw on Twitter Sponge going back and forth with I don't remember exactly who, but I'll continue the story. By the way, we're headed into Anubis, so we'll get into the story here. There were clips going around left and right where he was saying, okay, what about this sort of a thing where you can see aggression from A. You've got Molotovs towards the upper B, I believe B. I really can't remember the sides at this point. I don't know why, but no, upper A, outside of it, there. For the CT aggression. So right now, where the T's are going, Molotov is there, a couple of smokes and flashbangs, aggression from that as well. And, you know, Apeks, they're the ones who showed that in an actual game. So we might get to see that as sort of aggression, but speaking of it as well, we've got a couple of entries towards A here. So the bomb's been planted, CT side in a retake. And in comes the CT side. Kickston's the one who kickstarts this off as well. But suddenly it's now to Knock, and he's going to find a quick old triple. A lot of talking here, but the first round will go to the CT side. As Stiko was the only man trying to defend, found one, but then it was just all about the trades. Great stuff with the CTs, and the T's take the moment out at least. But bottom line of what I was trying to say, CT aggression, I'm hoping we might get to see it this time towards A. That was something we were lacking in the last game we just saw an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you on that department. Absolutely, it feels like perhaps a little bit of a hit and miss with those A pushes. So again, I do hope, as you said, that we get to see more of that. And likewise towards B, perhaps is a bit more dangerous, but you know, you sometimes got to play out of the box when you're playing against a better team. Regardless, we've got Coalesce coming in with the bomb plant on the gun round. They're going to force up here and Knock already on the op. And he's knocking for sure. It's going to be Shine that's going to have to shine his own shoes after that one. A lot of blood and guts on it. And we've got Coalesce now pushing back. Seems like they were able to establish water control, but look at the push here by Jacob. This is perfect for Jacob. He's got the info. Now they can confirm. Nobody towards B anymore. Yeah, we got to be ready for that A take. And I mean, Apeks right now is just playing the information game beautifully.
Taking their sweet time with approaching this, but Jacob again leads the charge to inquire a little bit more about what the Canals had, and that did result in another kill, though. This one already not going too well for Coalesce. They first met the AWP, which unexpected, then they met Jacob, and now they met JL. Things really ain't going too well for the Force Buy here. Last match as well, down to the USP potentially, but, well, here's the FAMAS instead. 2-0, one's the casualty. They pick up an AK. Make this a fairly solid second round, because up against the Force Buy that was the rifles, that's about as well as it could go.
Yep. Pretty much. I mean, Coalesce, if they had gotten perhaps 2 more kills, let's say 1 more kill in a bomb plant, the Force Buy would have made would have been a little bit easier for them to handle. But instead, unfortunately, with the little frags they were able to get, and the few frags to be exact, and the bomb plant they kind of didn't get. Yeah. Now we see the result of that. Deagles, well, actually, a Deagle, P250, and Glocks is what they have available to them. So it's going to be a bit of a harder route to any sort of success. Maybe if they get lucky with the Deagle, get a kill or 2, maybe get the bomb down, right? That's possible. That's always something we got to consider. Regardless, though, Apeks right now, I mean, it's a ballsy move. We got to say, it's a ballsy move by Knock to go for the op that early. But then again, you know, Knock is going to be trusting his skills, trusting his aim. And right now, he does have Stiko, though. There's the Deagle. Docs will fall by Jacob's hand. In comes JL as well. It is working out beautifully. JL saving the head of Knock, because I swear that would have been a plank filled with Knock's head if it wasn't for Jacob and JL. That was a lot better than we expected, I guess. Not sure if you're here with me, buddy. I hope you're... Yeah, unfortunately, Nexus is having some issues with his internet, so sometimes he does get disconnected, unfortunately, but we'll deal with that as we go. As I was saying, so Knock obviously missing the shots really gave a golden opportunity to Coalesce. Unfortunately, JL and Jacob were quick to respond. The MP9, the FAMAS was enough, and that pretty much threw the chances of Coalesce to win the round, you know, to the wind. So we'll have to wait and see this gun round how it goes. As we start off with a shot on Shine. He is still alive, but he is heavily tagged. That gives them, or the CTs, an easier time to get that kill. Confirm it. With an MP9 especially, you make your life a lot simpler when one of your teammates damages one of the opponents. Meanwhile, we do have the first kill of HAVU getting the lineup for 2 perhaps. No, it's going to be JL with 1 to return. That's not enough. It's going to be a 2-on-4 and Coalesce. I believe they've just done it. This should be their first round to pick up without too much of a hassle. Maybe lose 1 more player, if even that, as the CT's already pretty much playing it safe. No reason to throw away any sort of weapon they have, any sort of chance they have at keeping their rounds clean.
How you doing, buddy?
Welcome back, my friend.
It is very deceptive. I can still hear you when I'm disconnecting.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, well, me a little stable internet connection.
I hope that Finland gets their internet fixed finally, but I'll give you the rundown so far. Coalesce got a little bit of damage early on Shine, but then quickly were able to make short work of quite a few players, a bit of a lineup towards A, and afterwards pretty much an easy round. So, gotta say, quick first gun round theirs with 4 survivors. They set the stage beautifully for future success.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's that's a very quick update.
I mean, that's how you got to do it, right? We ain't got time for these long-winded explanations. We ain't the analyst desk. Give me an hour and I can break down the analyst position on this.
You'll break down the analysts.
I'll break the analysts. Jokes on the side here. It's going to be round 5 pretty much starting off with full guns on both sides. And, I mean, we can look at Apex's economy. They've lost a few players here and there, but that previous round really put them on the brink. They've got basically nothing left to rebuy with in the next if they lose. So not a lot to, well, a lot riding on this round, honestly. And ooh, JL. That was a close call, and he's still retaining his spot. That is ballsy.
Doesn't want to let it go that easily. You know, HAVU might be a little bit unexpected, close by. Flashbang did come, but did not affect him. Instead, we've got a 4v5 the CT side. Kicks in the man who now has to try and see what it is he can do. He did spot mid, didn't see anyone close by again, so now they can make rotations if they want to. There's only 40 seconds left, and you might as well abandon mid for now. Pack a little bit more heat towards the side themselves. Jacob is going to be smoked off as well, so that's going to make his job a little bit harder. Make it even worse, he's got his teammate behind him, but that's not with an all. What is he going to do? Fire off shots through the smoke? Sure, he can try, but effective in that. I don't think there's much you can do. Jacob, though, him and kicks into 1 apiece. 4v3 retake with the CT side. Advantage is there. Now let's see how this one does unfold. Begins with the first one already down. Christian, he's out. You want to find positions, basically hoping for the trading game. Leave. Under no circumstances can he afford to fall here, but his teammate has. And he will hit the deck as well.
Yeah, that's a damn shame, Coalesce. They got close. They really got close and kind of putting a knife in the works for Apeks. But unfortunately now with, again, 4 survivors, another 1 round, Coalesce have to start anew. They've lucky that they keep 4 survivors on their own on the previous round. So at least that's something they can work off from, especially economically speaking. They've got a little bit of bank. They've got the op out for Shine. He's still at 0 frags, which is not that big of a concern just yet, shall we say. So we don't need to throw him to the wolves just yet. But again, Apeks, they're starting pretty well. It's the CT side here that usually, has a decent spot to work with, but the T side we expect to get a few more rounds than just, 4 or 5. That's the thing. The T side is where currently the success is at on Anubis for the most part. And, well,
this is where the magic happens.
Pretty much, yeah. The Shia LaBeouf magic meme. But the magic for Apeks will be if they can win this round without losing more than 1 or 2 players, then they really got magic going on.
Although they've given a lot of map control. Cave for free for the T side, and in they go. They've got to be decent. That's going to tag down the T's a little bit, and now Jacob has the forward as well. He's got to find both. Not the first, but the first. Excuse me.
Oh!
He started though. They've dealt with this already very well. Kixon as well. Had a nice idea there, flash with the smoke, but couldn't find the connections required for the head. And now, this is what I said. It leaves Tico in a clutch. Who knows? 50-50. What can he do? But 2v4, he's not alone either. Makes that a little bit easier. Problem is the timing. And Shine, he's watching this. Easy on the first, and that's the round gone. So welcome Shine onto the board. We welcome Coalesce onto the second. More or less showcasing. Okay, now 2 rounds. There's started to build up a little bit here. Yep. Trading these rounds back and forth, so to say. Not for Apeks. This next round could be a little bit important. I believe the money's got to be an issue after this one. But we'll see how they approach this right now, because they even had a 3-mana B setup, but it didn't work out at all. That's the problem they had. But what are they going to do now?
To be fair, it's hard to really say what exactly the plan will be or how exactly they'll execute it, but I feel like Apeks, money for the buy, sure, they'll have that enough in the bank, but it's more about their approach to the rounds. We saw them, again, let control of connector and water go to the T side, basically kind of keeping themselves just stuck towards that B defense on side and backside. The Molotov immediately broke one of the positions of the players defending in the backside, and honestly, I feel like it's the same discussion we had earlier with our first matchup between HAVU and Illuminar. You really got to play for control of either middle or, yeah, perhaps, as we said at the start of this series, perhaps control of A long. One of the 2 sides of the map that you really can influence the rounds themselves if you play your cards right. In any case, here comes the attempt. This is a chance for Coalesce. Oh! To show the quality. Oh, Yazuvu. That is a very good start.
Let's smoke for double doors. No. House. Okay. Get rid of mid control for Apeks. They can fight for it, but this, again, this is something else you wanted to see. A little bit of a challenge towards B. See what main holds for the CT side, and not shied away from the fight. Towards A, though, here. Timing might be what catches off the CTs here, but they are making rotations to patch up this entire site. They've got now 3 players defending this.
Yeah, Stiko could make a difference here. There Absolutely. We go. There we go. Oh, Stiko with the flash support of Kixan. Bam! Coalesce's side is basically obliterated.
Beautiful hold as well. Flashbangs to counteract the push. They had the map out there for a reason. They made use of it. Nico had help if that was needed. The flashbang was the only thing. And now comes Shine in a 1v4. Sure, maybe you can find a couple of kills. The bomb plant would still be nice. But needs to get past, kicks him down to the side. Can't do so. There goes round up 5 to Apeks, who started off the CT side pretty well now. Okay, we trade a couple of rounds. We see that Coalesce, they can fight back here. They can put these rounds in advantageous position to themselves as well. This right away, as again, it started things off with Apeks adventuring out a little bit. It wasn't the first time they've swung B main. It was definitely not going to be the last one either. But that gave them enough information, enough confidence to abandon B, go towards A.
Yep.
And just the hold from Stiko was the cherry on top.
I mean, just beautiful, absolutely. And I mean, the flash support to enable that first kill almost instantaneously really was a great starting point, because it allowed Stiko not only to get the entry, but also deny that early success rate for Coalesce from the get-go. And now we see the results of that are basically Coalesce having to play with limited firepower, 2 Galils. We've got grenades aplenty, but they got to be utilized in a perfect way in order to make them sing and, well, be worthwhile. Meanwhile, Coalesce, we can see they're afraid to take water, take middle. Now they're going to go with that deep smoke. I like it. They're going to be trying to reinsert control over both bridge, and that sandwiched towards A. Most likely that's the plan. I'd imagine that's pretty much the go-to plan here for Coalesce.
Yeah, this though. They know what sort of
counter.
pressure this coming. They have it taken somewhere else instead.
Again.
Cut down the pressure towards A main. Stico, he's still fighting on the site as well. They know there's another matter still around the corner, but the bomb is going down. That's the money they need now. So desperately. All they gotta do is wait. They're surrounding them. The CT rotates are already happening. They know one man towards heaven. They know Lead has to go for the swing somewhere. It eventually does. Out he goes, and Dox follows. Beautiful reaction there.
Yeah, it's more than just reaction. It's effectively pitch perfect play almost, we can say here. Apeks, you know, as soon as they realized that mid is lost, their reaction was taking long.
Do you want to get pincered, or do you want to try and be the one on the aggressive?
Exactly, and they were the surprise party there. Even though the reaction of Coalesce was effectively on point to a degree, Apeks, with the kills, with the frags, they not only destroyed the push, but effectively opened up a large portion of the side of the map that otherwise would have been closed off for them and most likely would have resulted in them losing their players for it. So kudos to that. And beyond just that, it's just the way they play here. They're very, very in control of the map so far, or at least in control of this position they're taking early on. And, well, only time will tell what the plan might be here as we go into an eco that I have a hard time seeing how it would be really successful for Coalesce.
I would have to agree. I don't. I know it's a hard call to make, but I don't think they're walking out of this one with a win.
Yeah, no. I mean, it'd be pretty ludicrous to be able to pull it off, given what we've seen.
Exactly. Especially when it's already over.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would require a little bit of black magic or some other sorcery, but
to be fair, maybe
that ain't happening.
Maybe that's exactly what they need, but
maybe. I mean, 7-2. Now things are looking really good for Apeks. Sure, it is their map pick. Coalesce, the last time they played this wasn't their greatest showing, of course. What, 16-7 you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the greatest of shows, but time to turn things around. Time to show you can still fight on this map, show improvements over time. And I'll get behind this project as well. I'll start believing a little bit more than just the words. Here, though. A main aggression coming in. We've got to get rid of Christian. He holds the first one. Here comes the second. Headshots on both a site. Suddenly falls to the hands of JL to hold all alone. And what do we have here then? JL is good for one, apparently. There's the trade. A site falls. CTs. Don't think they want to go for this, even if they do have the money.
No. No point. I mean, chances that they'll actually successfully retake very low. So, makes sense. Play it safe. You know, save what you can. They've got money, as you said, but again, what's a little bit more money? When does a little bit more money ever hurt, right?
You know,
Coalesce.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right? I mean, money's always good to have, regardless of the situation you're in. And Coalesce, if nothing else, they still have to deal with two guys that are potentially chasing down their players, but luckily Shine seems to be well aware.
Wait, Jacob tried defusing.
Wow, he actually tried the ninja, yeah. That's a bit of a surprise. You don't get to see that very often, especially not when it's that late in the round, but either way, Coalesce, they've got 3 rounds. Let's see if they can push it up to 5. I think 5 would be okay for them and doable in the second half to deal with and afterwards win with. But in my eyes, definitely 5 is the bare minimum they got to pick up here to have any sort of chance of actually pulling it off like that. Again, let's not forget that this is the underdog Coalesce, this is, right?
Ooh, hold on,
so,
Jacob might get naded. A little bit of damage. It was a double nade I saw from Complexity on this position as well. From outside that they managed to find a kill with.
Yeah, it would be pretty standard, wouldn't it? Considering that usually
There's the second one. Yeah, look at that.
Yep. So he's
Damage
down
coming
to
in.
58. Not the best, not the worst, not the best, but still better than nothing. And one thing that I wanted to say is usually the CTs return with their own nades, and there was a game last week that I will never forget. that we continuously saw a player in the same spot use that spot pretty much and be naded pretty much every single round. But right now, Jacob with the first kill, not bad. He does get refragged. It's still going to be a big push. 4 players ready to defend from the CT side, and 2 of which in relatively okay spots.
See this approach with Kixon leading the charge. Waiting to make their play though. Flashbangs coming in, left and right. CTs now will have to wait for the utility to fade. JL's basically the point man of this round. Here's the flash towards cave as well. Maybe making things a little bit doable, but smoke still remains. 15 seconds or so still on the bomb as well, and now JL gone. I think it's time to rethink this as well. The bomb though so tempting into the open, and knock. Can't even try this, I don't think so. Speaker remove it as well, confirms it. From 3 becomes 4, Coalesce. Starting to gather up a couple of rounds here.
Starting to get a few rounds together in a row as well, which is the important factor to count in. So definitely more success a little bit later in the first half. Not the worst thing though. It's not the first time we're seeing this happen. Now it's the question of, can they continue this? As I said, 5 rounds to me is basically what I'm looking for them. So if they can get 5 rounds, I think they themselves will be content. Maybe after such a rough start, you know, you kind of have to take what you get. But money hasn't run out for Apeks as well. Look at Stiko again. Look at this push. This is what we talked about earlier. And he is a little bit careless, maybe for a second, though. Jacob got control. Stiko will be caught, unfortunately. He is not the luckiest of lads to start off, though not the worst spot to die in likewise, because now you have a lot of information you can kind of run on.
The problem was there that Stiko, all alone, no one there to even try and trade or hold the stairs as he was going up. And for Coalesce, let's see how they try to read this. They still got 2 players fighting for A main control, so this could end up real bad for either one of these sides right now. Kixon though, shoulder peek around the corner, he's going down, and now the second man as well has to stand down. It's JL. 1 man at the only thing he can get. Here comes the rest of the CT's rotations already in progress. Already here as well. The problem is though, Dox is on the other side of the map, and he's making sure the B side is going to be clear as well. So they're at right now trying, hoping something could have worked out, but no. They've been told B side is clear, make the rotation. Now it's nothing but timing it. Jacob swings, finds this one. Now it's a little bit of a pressure here, or pressure point for the T side. They know Jacob was a little bit far away, so he can't at least stop the bomb plant. Yep. Now you play the retake.
Let's see if they can get more than just the bomb plant, though. As you said, this retake could work, especially when Jacob pulls that off with an op on leave. Now Shine, he's got the bomb on his side. That's the one thing he's got going for himself. And if he can keep it up, at least delay the retake for another 10-20 seconds, then reality will really kick in. But unfortunately, Jacob's too accurate. And my God, Jacob is playing really well, man. He's what, at already 15 frags? We're not even at halftime yet. This guy is having a field day. And this is what I was talking about. This is what we kind of mentioned earlier. The skill ceiling of Apeks is just insanely high. And the players are insanely good. And that's the beauty of this team. He might have been a bit of a rough gem last year, but this year they're coming in hot and ready. And Coalesce is having a very difficult time, even after getting the bomb plant, to retaining that spot. And after successfully closing out the round. In any case, plan here. Full buy again. Double up JL and Knock. Interesting decision. You don't get to see that very often. But we saw it from HAVU when it worked. So I guess maybe they, you know, took a sneak peek of that game earlier and thought to themselves, let's see their setup. Let's see if we can make it work likewise.
Maybe the other way around.
Maybe.
Ooh, this though. Aggression pushed to the max here on the CT side, going a little bit more aggressive than the last time they went here. Now comes the utility, but Dogs down with the bomb. There goes Christian, and suddenly this round is looking a little too lost here for Coalesce.
Yeah, this seems like 9-4 without a doubt. I mean, at best, Shine and Leaf maybe get a bomb down, make their life a little bit easier, but even that is highly doubtful given where the position of it is. And we can see that the CTs are just reinforcing that set spot with another player behind it all, Jacob, with a deep smoke. Man, Apeks really got on lockdown this map. If I'm not mistaken, Apeks was one of the first teams that I've seen play Anubis last year when it went into the regular tournament pool. So they were one of the first ones to adapt to playing it and accepted that the map could be, you know, their new go-to map. And well, look at it now. It definitely is. It's I mean, statistically, it's one of their more successful ones. Not the only one, obviously, but amongst definitely up there, a high chance of success. That makes sense. In any case, let's not delay this any longer. Let's see what the future holds. We've got round 14 Coalesce. Need to start making changes and fast. Otherwise, they will remain at 4, and we will see 11 to 44. My God, I'm wanting to say 14, but that's not yet there. Oh, Knock! I love Knock, man. I've been watching him for so long. So happy he's, you know, he's feeling it. You can see he's really feeling it here. Loves it. I'm fairly certain my co-caster. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
You're back. Thank God.
I don't know why. It's only TeamSpeak that's
enough,
doing anything.
It's not the first time that I've seen this happen. It used to happen to me as well. It would just crash TeamSpeak, or, you know, it would jumble, artifact my voice on TeamSpeak. Not sure. I think it has to do something with an audio driver, perhaps, that it's kind of putting it back and forth. But audio drive or not, it's going to be the last round here for Coalesce to have the 5th one on the board. If they can pull it off, let's see if that's actually possible. Last huzzah for the British org in this first half of Anubis, the choice of Apeks. They've got the op, they've got the AKs. It's a glass cannon op, but still better than no cannon at all. Let's see if they can make it work.
Close by and waiting here to flashbang though. Jacob full blind. Out goes he, or out goes him. Now comes the rest as well. From Cave is the majority approach. Molotov is a bit of a miss. Noel can take his eyes off it for a second. Take it away though. Out they go. Quick shot from Knock, and well, why not make it a double? Can't do so, however. Instead it's Kixon. Made his mark known at the B side. This is looking like 11-4 here. Well, Shine's got a little bit of magic. He doesn't. 11-4. Apeks, beautiful first half. Jacob has 17 kills. And we come back after a quick break, ladies and gents. Second half, we'll see if Coalesce can come back. See you then. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Half 2 now. It's 11-4 is the score. We headed to find out if Coalesce have some sort of a CT defense here. Yeah, the history books have been waiting for.
Do you believe? Do you believe? For real, though? Do we believe that they can pull it back? 11-4?
I'm
CT
willing
side?
to believe.
Okay, I'll accept your will. Let's see if...
Wait a minute, I've seen this pistol setup before. This is what I do.
You sure they didn't take it from y'all?
They might have.
They might have. No,
They even got it in the smoke ready on Christian as well to drop. Look at that, boom.
Oof.
Alright.
Good
Clearly.
shot.
Not watch enough, but T-side. Out toward the side, then fighting up above and beyond.
Oh, they forgot about
smoke.
Christian.
Here, though, Christian's P2K fighting at the side, bit of stuff, able to stay alive and not for longer. Hickson, it's his turn instead to deliver a little bit of pain. 2 kills, now 2 guns on the HAVU. Let's see if this will make any sort of difference. The answer's no.
Well, that was more of a HAVU moment, but yeah, Kixon with a double Glock headshot there. Oof.
Beautiful stuff.
That's just, you know, really picturesque perfect here for our guys. And, well, Apeks, they're having a field day right now, right here. They're really enjoying it. They just absolutely dominate the current landscape of Anubis, and there's not really much that can be done by Coalesce, I'm afraid, unless things change massively in terms of, you know, their approach. But even that, you know, mid-game, mid-map, it's hard to imagine. Let's see this force buy. You know me, I'm not a big fan of force buys. In this case, I would agree with Coalesce to go for it. You know, they're already so far behind, they might as well try anything and everything they have to make up for it. But alas, it could also be their undoing. Let's see for certain. One is down already. That's a ZuVu again.
Good utility. That's not so good. Now the trade is gonna at least keep them in this round, though. Is that all? They're completely abandoning their position towards the cave now, towards B. Choosing the group up outside of A. This is where Christian again has to stand. Last round, 3k from this position. Beautiful stuff. But oh, actually, bit of a double fake.
Kind of like this. Apeks is trying to outsmart their opponent, and they've done it. I mean, second player, Shine, rotated towards middle. Unfortunately, that costs...
Oh, the timing.
Oh,
the timing.
Oh! Okay. 6 shots. There we go. Finally, some lifelines being thrown out there. I mean, Shine with the scout could definitely finish off Knock, that's for certain. Now it's a question of, will Sticko hit his mark? No, hit by the scout instead. Oh boy, this could still be doable for Coalesce. They just need a bit of luck on their side, that's all. Oh! Damn, 1v1. So close. No defuse though. Look, Sticko. He's waiting in the corner. He's waiting for that peek, and Shine will get it. Time is of the essence, and he's got it. My God, Coalesce. There's more luck on their side right here for this round than anything else. That smoke kill was vital. Without it, high chance that the round doesn't work regardless of what Shine does. Oof. And Dogs double with the Deagle. Damn, sweet, sweet honey right there.
You know a thing or two about it as well. Bit of a honey farmer at one point, were you not?
Not
or
honey
helping out
per
with
se,
it,
but helping out. Yeah, more like raspberry, you could say. Or
I remember you saying something about you going to a honey farm as well. Is that the same place again?
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you just got everything.
Yeah, I mean it's like an all around farm
Soak.
for vegetables and stuff. But well, Shine is making vegetable soup with his opponent. Dogs with a double again. And this force buy by Apeks really didn't work out the way they planned. This should be clean and easy. Well, not clean really, but definitely easier. 12-6 Coalesce, making it happen, baby.
I love the idea they had. The Molotov there to try and say, you know, we're not rushing. No way, why would we?
Yeah, we're just,
Let's go through it.
It's a normal eco we're playing. Come on, guys. Don't take us the wrong way.
The problem is Shine was holding in, finds the instant headshot, telling guys, they're running in.
Pretty much, yeah.
But either way, it was a nice idea. A little change of pace, but 12-6 is the score. Coalesce the second half. They get the first 2 rounds, or not the first 2, but 2 out of 3. The rounds they need here. And they've finally got themselves a chance to start building up a little bit here. Now let's see exactly how much that little bit is. Well, we'll see. 7 should be on the board, but I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah,
but
don't do the classic caster curse maneuver. We've seen that too much. I feel like
see, this is a 9 out of 10. I win these rounds if I am Apeks.
Well, to
Never
be fair,
lost one of these.
To be fair, you aren't necessarily too wrong. No, I'm
trying
just
to
messing
affect
about.
the odds here
Imagine
a little
that.
bit. See,
Yeah. see how it goes.
let's see what
Maybe
Knock
we
can
are
do. Not much. Shine,
magicians.
beautiful double. Pick up a
Yeah.
Eagle. They know one more still around the corner.
Oh, JL with the Deagle though.
Kinda nasty. Giving us a show now. 3 players still remain on the T side, 2 of which towards mid. But let's see if they can find Leaf. He's currently playing this a little bit far back. But he's waiting for his teammate to come around. So this could end in disaster if the Eagle starts striking for JL. Luckily for the T's or CTs, it ain't. Pico did find water, but it is just Dixon almost down towards mid. He's not got no time, really. Maybe he can pick up a gun, but even so, Azu was here. Says nope. That's 12-7. Coalesce can now start grouping up these gun rounds. Or, should I say, they can potentially coalesce a couple of gun rounds here.
Huh.
Or coalesce with a couple of gun rounds.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way. Fair enough.
Alright, either way, we go to round up 20.
Yeah. We're getting
Guns
there.
out.
Coalesce,
Guns
I
out.
mean, they're making this a little bit
Business
more
over.
competitive. I like it. They're making this a little bit more interesting to see. Besides just, you know, a quick 16x result. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of presence towards A long by Apeks. Seems like they'll immediately be deterred by the Molotovs. And Coalesce's CT side seems to be a bit more well thought out. At least a little bit more consistent, especially in their performance as well.
Right now, they are leaving a couple of gaps here. Mid's the big issue, or big issue they have at the moment. Same could be said about the undermanned B site. But that just depends on what sort of a play Apeks is going to make to see if that's even going to affect things. Smokes are coming in. Shine is about to be smoked off here. Just walks on in. The smoke is a bit of a miss, I believe. But either way. Decide to take mid control. They fight for it. Look to try and split towards A potentially. We've got players all around the map, however.
Oh, Kixie-san might just... Oh boy, this could be big. One-way smoke by Leaf. No, one-way! Leaf uses it perfectly! As well as Dogs finds his mark. Shine additionally on top of that. Coalesce, blessed by the gods of CSGO. That one-way really making a difference. And Leaf, with a double, not only stopped the first, being able to deny the second's crossing, pretty much saved the round. And well, there we have it. 12-8. 4 to go, and we've got a tie. So Coalesce, we see lifelines here. We're definitely seeing, you know, them coming up awake instead of being trampled behind that initial result. You know, this is what I like to see. Spirit out of a team.
And with the first gunner, of course, going their way, it paves a way for them to start tying things up here ever so slowly, but keep in mind, it is Apex's map pick. I'm just waiting for them to start getting around to the board, then probably a second one after. That's the sort of mindset I currently have right now if I'm watching this with how things have gone so far. We saw a lot of really good variations and change-ups of the CT side from Apeks. I expect the same on the T side as well. But Coalesce definitely changed that with just a couple of solid defenses. Just as the last round kind of did show. Maybe if there's a gap somewhere, they could exploit that. Last round, it didn't work out. They walked into it instead. And here, walking towards B. 2 players still here, but they're playing a bit of a retake position somewhat. But Zoo was only good for the first, and second man has fallen back as well.
Luckily, Shine doesn't miss. Yeah. That's a vital shot that he makes here. Oof, almost gets JL as well, though. It's going to leave a 2-on-3 action.
Oh.
JL with a secondary. Both players coming in from the same highway. This is a problem right now. Coalesce, I'm not sure if they saw them. I'm fairly certain they would be...
Oh, no.
No! What are you doing, Dogs?
Oh, no.
What are you throwing right now? No! Why are you throwing a flash? Oh, God, no. 1v1, Kirsten. He's got the Molotov. He's got the timing. And oh, but unfortunately, he doesn't have the positional advantage. Holy smokes, Coalesce. No, that's the round gone.
Indeed, that came down to the timing of the smoke towards Temple. They wanted to get rid of JL that way.
Dude, that flash push, though, I mean, why are you picking out a flash in such a dire scenario? 2v2, you're so far up enemy's position. I really don't like the fact that he opted to go for the flash there. Really, just I feel like that was a massive error that cost Coalesce a potential round here. Well, cost them the round, not potential round.
It was a smoke, I will say. It was
Even
a smoke.
if it was a smoke, you know he's behind that corner, right? You know he's going to be engaging, or at least in some degree he's going to be fighting that angle instead of fighting him, winning the duel, and then fighting with a pistol 2-on-1. You're leaving your teammate to refrag you, and well, we saw what happened afterwards. Damn, Coalesce, so close yet so far here.
13-8 money now. Very dire for the CT side. It's going to be quite problematic if they continue like this, but we'll see exactly. This round's outcome might give us an idea where this game is headed. Again, mid's going to be a bit of an issue here for the CT side. He had a 3B early. Now let's go. Christian still holding towards middle, and not only, but Leaf as well has joined him. Now smoked off, however. Throws in one of his smoke of his own, but now the site has to be held by Christian as well. In the smoke now, T-side. Opting to try and jump through that as well, but Seco jumping through a couple of times, and that's still a third one for Christian. Reloaded a lot as well. They're still not trading him. JL is going to be a man who has to do so much here. Now they wear Norkis as well at the same time, but now down to just the last man standing. Running, jumping through a smoke one at a time. Even when they heard the reload, Nok was looking elsewhere. 13-9, Coalesce. That's a round they absolutely needed if they wanted to have a chance this first map.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the round that gives them a potential W right here, right now. I mean, even if the previous was a bit of a jumbled mess and a loss, they've just pretty much made up for that mistake instantaneously here. And now it's on them to make sure this works out. Let's see for certain that op from Shine has been hitting its mark quite a little bit lately. Let's see if it can keep it up. I think it's gonna be easier, obviously, against Deagles, that's for certain. But regardless, the Deagles are not to be underestimated. How many rounds we've seen together that have been lost because of mistakes like that, right? How many rounds have been lost because of things like that? Being played foolishly.
Try to make a difference. Stico leads the charge, the AK. The only rifle they have, rest of the pistols. Now, though, AK picked up, but same as Stico goes down. That's what the bomb plant is now here for the T-side. Jacob trying to hold off this mid-rotation, and Shine is going to be there as well. On the other side of the steps have been heard by Jacob. Can't tell his teammates where, but retake is coming in from CT. That smoke leaves a lot to be desired for Nog as well, but he's still holding a bit of an off angle here towards the stair. Pops up for the first one.
No.
Here's Jacob. No! Desert Eagle 4-2.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm talking about. The Desert Eagles. And Jacob. Crazy performance again. The man that you wouldn't expect to be able to pull it off so easily, so lightly. Man, this guy's just simple. Simple style. You know, just, pops up when most needed. And all of a sudden, Coalesce find themselves on the verge of being eliminated here in the first map. Not eliminated from the best of 3, of course, not yet, but
just yet. That might come a little bit later. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, lose this and you're fighting for survival very soon after. And look at this entry on A. Just not really much to say, is it, besides easy.
That's nice.
Okay.
It's not going to change the outcome of the round, but it's still a kill. Maybe the AK blows towards him. Oh. There we go. Actually, let's go pick it up. There's a weapon they potentially can save. Hold on, bridge. Not sure if it is being held. It doesn't seem like it, but the cross is by Stico. AK will be fine. That's on a different pair of hands. That's on Leaf, but 15 either way towards Apeks now, so that is where things are going to get a little bit dangerous. As said, more or less, when Apeks get their first stride at the border, things started to go very well for them afterwards. Map 1 Anubis. It is their map. We head towards Inferno next. Now, give me your quick thoughts on Inferno and Apeks. What's it been like?
Well, generally speaking, Apeks have been relatively consistent on Inferno. As I said earlier, they've played against a few teams in the recent past on Inferno. The most recent was against 500, I believe. They did win it, or could have been even against Eklot, but yeah, it was against Eklot, and they did lose against Eklot, but I feel like they are going to be consistent, but it's going to be a little bit harder to see their T side. I feel like their T side has always been a bit of a lackluster one, so Kixan, I think he's probably made a few adjustments, and I'm excited to see what they are. Regardless, 3v3 retake of B site. It's going to be nigh impossible here for Coalesce, no matter how much we want to spin it the other way. Shine and Kristen, this is it.
Yep, Nog as well. Has a Molotov. He has the AWP as well. Things will be fine. This is now 16-9. Map 1. It is in the bag for Apeks. Not bad.
I mean, not bad at all. Very convincing. Yes, there were a few mistakes. Yes, there were a few minuscule things we can point out as being perhaps a heat of the moment choice that wasn't the right one at the end, you know, when you see it all, when you go over the demo. But generally speaking, they played a good game of CS. Their CT side was solid. Their T side, you know, I feel like, as I said, few issues, but that's to be expected. After all, Anubis yet to be fully explored.
Yep. Either way, though, Apeks, they pick up their first map, and we head towards a little bit of a break. When you come back, it is Inferno, as mentioned. Has been fairly consistent for Apeks, but for Coalesce, we'll see how well they can perform on it. It is their map pick after all. We'll see 2-0, 2-1. We'll see after the break. See you then.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. Simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
Are you sick of just opening?
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents. We're now headed towards map number 2 in this best of 3. Apeks took their map pick pretty convincingly. Coalesce, they came a little bit short when it came to the individuals, which something we talked about. Apeks, their skill ceiling on the individuals. We know how high it can be. We know how great it was. Now I'm going to need to see that same thing for Coalesce. I need to see them, because Christian was kind of the only one who was out there in terms of kills. Now I need the rest to show up as well. But we don't even have to wait. Inferno, headed into it, ladies and gents. Map number 2, I'm going live.
And here we are. It's going to be map 2, the choice of Coalesce this time around. It is Inferno. It is going to be the first half. It's Apeks on the CT, Coalesce on the T. And we've got dual Berettas here for Jacob, the rest with USPs. And we've got a 2-man utility buy for Coalesce. We've got a P250 for Docs, Molly Smoke for Shine and Docs, and a few flashbangs in between. Well, 2 flashbangs to be exact. And it looks like it could be Kirsten with the Lurk, trying to make sure they get, you know, some sort of advantage going early on, potentially catch any CTs that want to nose around for information a little bit too much. Kiksan, beautiful shots coming out from the Macedonian player. Kirsten is coming into play, but he is not going to get a chance. My lord, Apeks is really putting the hurt on Coalesce right now.
It ain't going to stop anytime soon either. Shiny hurt him, but Bale still got him. This is Apeks with a 4-man A-stack saying, you know what? We haven't heard anything just yet. Let's just peek mid. Works out perfectly. It is a little bit outcome oriented as well. Stay there, Coalesce get the first 1 kill, the first 2. We're probably looking at a way different sort of round, but it's not the way it happens right now. Instead, they get caught a little bit off guard. I mean, who peeks mid like that? I'm telling you, Apeks, apparently.
They do. They do. I mean, it
Bulika,
looks
though.
like... Yeah, that's not a surprise. If I remember correctly, they got the bomb plant on the pistol So they were immediately forcing up Coalesce, that is, on Anubis on the first round. Here, we can see they're playing by the book, right? This is how you would expect them to play. You don't want to risk your whole gun rounds for potentially winning with a few deagles. That's not even guaranteed by any means. But regardless, I'm very excited to see what is in store here for the squad of Coalesce, what the plan is. Like, are they at least hoping to get a bomb down? Is this, you know, more of just wishful, lucky, hopeful choosing kind of thing? Let's see for sure. Leaf, maybe gets a kill. Nah, not gonna happen. Not gonna
covering.
happen. Yeah,
it happens.
Okay.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep, yeah. Relatively easy, relatively simple. And here come the real questions now. Into the gun round we go. The questions being, are they going to get a bomb plant? Are they going to get an entry? How are they going to play? How are they going to play this that gives them any sort of chance of picking up the first round before things get a little bit heated up, a little bit dangerous here for Coalesce? The danger being obviously that Apeks could run away with the first half like they did on Anubis, and perhaps even, you know, more so.
Yeah, results though, they've been very up and down, very 50-50 for Apeks on this map for Coalesce. This is a much more better map than Anubis is overall, so
yeah.
Sort of threat, the sort of possibility that this goes similar to the first map would be negated, should not really be there. But still, the worry of the individuals that we didn't really get to see on the map 1 needs to be fixed here. So far, yeah, a bit of a funny sight right now. None of the T's are actually getting kill. Everyone's 0-2. Where you could actually see that, but it's kind of funny. By the way, that might change. Christian, towards the apartment and knock on the other side. Op has been heard to shoot a shot, and he's going to fall away as well. Not too happy dueling with the potential threat that is on the other side. His teammates still make their own play as well, make their move. Eventually, a couple of pieces of util are going to be thrown. A long wrap is available now for the T side to go ahead and make. But JL,
wait a second.
Stop do this. Ammo runs out of the M4.
Lot of damage.
The T side, first kill on the board, and now the wrap is here.
That is a lot of damage, but there comes the wrap that's coming unwrapped. Stiko and Knock are holding the line. Down to 3 players remaining. This is not looking sweet. Knock with a secondary, and Stiko continues on his success rate. This is just beautiful right now coming out from Apeks. The hold has been pristine. And I mean, they lose one, sure enough. JL's caught on long, but it doesn't matter. They got the damage in regardless. They got the W basically in their bag soon after. And well, thanks to Knock and Stiko, that is. One hell of a hold, and especially with Stiko being that close onto the site and that long cross, things could have taken a wild turn for the worst here if he had missed the first shot. Knock, that is. Apologies. Knock and his first shot.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Knock.
He's the one who knocks. Kicksun, meanwhile, channeling his inner Macedonian, taking control of Banana.
I don't know if there's more to that.
No, I don't think there really is, honestly. I just kind of went with it. I know you were waiting for an explanation.
Something about North Macedonia and bananas.
No correlation. No correlation.
Ooh.
Oh,
you go, that's
Shine.
nice.
Hello.
Get to see what the Eagle can do. Here's Dualies, here's a FAMAS. Hey, here's, well, one more kill for the T's at least, but the round again goes towards Apeks. Here comes the guns out yet again. This is what we're looking for, Coalesce. We need to get them started here on the T side, of course. And things will, eventually from there on, it'll start being a little bit more smooth in terms of the, gameplay, perhaps the sailing as well. But we'll see. Right now, we are seeing a very confident start from Apeks. That's something.
Yeah.
Not really afraid of going for any fights. Nog especially. And on Inferno, it's good. If you have an Opera who's feeling it like he seems to be right now, let him go for a couple of entries. Then
yeah, you see where he puts you at, right? And I mean, it's a rarity these days that we have oppers that are feeling this confident and more specifically this convincing when they play the map like this. And I love what I'm seeing. Knock, he's just going to his strengths, and that's about it. He's not really complicating matters. He's looking to make sure his accuracy obviously on point, and just generally speaking, supporting his teammates best he can to whatever way he can, right? So again, love what I see. Let's see if he can keep it up. Coalesce, meanwhile, lose their first player, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe if they can continue for the moment towards B, maybe get that first kill, I believe they could potentially get at least the ball rolling to take B control. Oh no, that's not gonna work though. And look at Kixan. That is a very dangerous decision, especially when your teammate is highly damaged or highly injured. But JR comes in swinging from CT. 2 players left, Azuvo and Shine. But the damage, while Steven Jacob dies, still a 2v3 with bare sweet seconds left. The bomb still goes down though. And there we have it. Successful retake with all 3. No issue, no biggie, no nothing. Just simplicity at best. Coalesce they're having a bit of a hard time right now on their T side, and this is kind of what I was alluding to at the start of the match. The one thing I was a little bit worried about, you know, how are they going to handle the pressure early on? Are they able to win those vital rounds, get away with a few rounds, and then basically able to, you know, make sure that Apeks don't run away with the result. Unfortunately, the current standing is the fact that Apeks is not just running away with the result, they're leading this charge indomitably, and looks like they won't stop anytime soon. Best case scenario that I can tell for Coalesce is they start winning now, and I mean now. And maybe we can have a difference at the end of this first half. At worst, it's just going to go like this all the way.
I'm a believer. I'm hopeful. Things will change.
I think everybody is, to be fair. Like, I feel like everybody's a believer that they can change. The thing is,
I need something to believe in.
that's the thing, exactly. You need something.
Not just
to
words
in,
and empty
right?
promises.
Exactly, and in this case, for Coalesce, there is not much more than that. As much as I wish it was different.
Right, how's this gonna go then? Open for a beginning frag for the T side, but no opening just yet. I mean, sure, they've forced the T or CTs away from mid. They don't really have brackets control, they don't have information. And towards B, they seem to be thrown, or not somewhat thrown away from the from Banana as well. Molly now fades. T side will start making their way up as well. One more smoke now deployed. The one way. Dixon to work with 20 seconds remain. T side, final play. Crossfire from above. There's the first one. Gotta check for the second as well, but can't do so. Jacob gets the drop, and now you can just play the mad advantage. Not only, but Christian, he's on the other side of the map here. With the docks removed, that's the round gone. 6-0. Couple of kills, sure, but his stats padding at this point.
I mean, stats padding or not, this is a bit of a disaster right now. Coalesce seems to be falling apart a little bit in front of our very eyes. Getting close, but just not able to close the deal. And Apeks, they're having the time of day. They're really just kind of playing it very relaxed. No pressure. You can see it from their style, from their approach to the rounds. Nothing to really worry about. And Coalesce, I think they just need a bit of a more simple plan. Stop complicating your lives with intricate fakes or potentially intricate executions. Like, go for the most basic of defaults and see if you can keep something going from there forward. Kristen walks into the scope of Knock in Apps, obviously, and yeah, there's just not a lot to go on. Really, just absolutely almost nothing.
Yeah, the entries, those are the things that are currently tying down Coalesce a little bit, it feels like. When it comes to those, they don't have enough... They don't do enough to stop the CTs from getting away with too many. Here again, I mean, Christian was alone, sure, that's fine. That's all right in that sense, but... Afterwards, what are you gonna do? Dogs
I mean,
might be able to make a play here. This could turn the
work.
tides
This
of
could
the round
work.
here.
Yeah.
But nope. Going for the trades. Now you got to check for long as well. That's where Nork stands and kicks, and even closer with JL. Easy. Six starting to look a whole lot like 7 here. Now, I think you're kind of right as well. I think maybe the way for Coalesce to get into the game here is to keep it a little bit simple. Because right now, if they're being forced out of these angles and these positions they try to go for, just approach it slightly differently. Keep it very simple, down to the very basics.
Yeah.
And just have one of those rounds works, then maybe another one, and then you can start doing more of what you feel like you were wanting to do in the beginning when Apeks is off their initial game, where they have to try and respond to what you're doing. Right now, they don't really have to adapt that much. Instead, they're doing what they want. And as you said, relaxed.
Yeah, I really think Coalesce need to make a decision. Do they play defaults, like actual proper defaults, taking banana control, apps control, and then basically fighting from there forward without a set plan in motion? Or are you looking to be, to complicate your opponent's life and hope that that works? And currently it seems to be more of the latter, as we've got B control, we've got mid control and apps control established in a way. Apeks seemingly ringing the bells. Rotations are very slow towards B, but the smoke here from Kixan is enough. And the C4 still dropped in T-base.
Oh, look at this rotation they're making.
Oh, whoa.
This could cost them the entire round. Unless... Oh, hold on. They're making use of the stack here as well. Towards me they go. Towards banana.
Okay.
No chance. Yeah, Jacob
Oh, no.
eventually walks through as well, but in the meantime,
They're going to
all
confirm.
of A has been taken.
Yeah, I mean, sure, A has been taken, and we've talked about this, how A is the hardest place to retake, and perhaps this is the golden chance for Coalesce to actually make it work now, finally find their first. I can guarantee you, though, Apeks is going to go for this retake. They've got the money, they've got the comfort of 7 rounds, as well as they've got the conviction that they are just playing better, that they are just better in every aspect right now, and... I mean, Jacob 9-1, JL 5-3, and Nox 7-0. Sure enough, it might be dangerous, it might be difficult, but they're going to try it, regardless.
They got the utility as well. Now, T-side, though, they're the ones with the post-plan position and the time on their side. All they need, 1 or 2 kills to go their way in the beginning. Here we start with the Nox spamming from the pit, and I think that's enough as well.
They're going to pull back, yeah.
That is all they need. Beautiful stuff, finally. Finally a round for Coalesce, and it's about damn time. Inferno, you do not want this to be another Anubis.
No, absolutely. You can't afford that. I mean... Just gotta make a difference. Gotta make a difference, and that's it. Gotta make a bit of a different impact for the first half. Albeit it's looking like it could be Anubis first half, but we're not there just yet. They still have a golden chance here. I feel like this was their... This is it. This is their entryway into finding 5-6 rounds for the first half, bare minimum. And let's see for certain if that's the case. As we go into round 9, we've got full buy on both sides, CTs. We can even see the damage they've been doing to the CT side, right? They've got a few kills. They've got a few frags. They've been enabling the lack of economy, or at least enabled the lack of economy for their opponents. So that's, they've been doing splendidly in that department. It's just... finalizing the victories is what's really kind of hurting them the most, so let's see if they can actually do that now.
Great smoke as well. Allows for cover, Molotov basically negated with that as well. Allowing for a lot of freedom. Gixon as well, he could jump on top of the sandbags. He does a bit of a one-way if he wants to. But he's also got 2 teammates on the side. I believe this might be a bit of an idea they're trying to cook up here as well. Nog might try and flash him in if the time comes, if he needs to. If not, they're just leaving Kixon here to die. Be the bait. Off the flash, he swings, but no more found for him. And Coalesce. Now let's see if they walk into the trap. Do they think They've outsmarted this. If there's only one man here on the site. I can assign this knock. On Coffins is Jacob, and let's see what you can do. As already as well, JL arrived on the site. Knock begins with the first one. Now the trades. Can't find him just yet.
Oh.
Alone on the side. The Ducks needs to make this one counter right now. 30 seconds remaining, though. Can't pull the bomb that easily. CT Smoke just faded. Don't have anything else either. They've got 2 plays to worry about in Coffins as well. So now, with 20 seconds, this all comes out at the kills. Ducks a beautiful first as well. Now a second could still be there. He spotted both of them. But is Christian who's waiting to make this play? Because Stiko, if he finds this, if he goes down, that's surely the round as well. Sprayed from 2 sides, but Ducks
1v1.
alleviate the pressure.
There's still a
Comes
chance.
the nade.
Oh, but the nade, the money nade here. And yeah, he let him plan, but he doesn't care about the plan. He cares about getting the kill and the round. And that's what really matters at the end of the day. The victory in that department, again, puts the round in the hands of the one and only Apeks. Convincingly, and more than anything, this is just a disaster for Coalesce, economically speaking. They're starting to look really weak. You know, win one, lose one. Yeah, you're going to rebuy regardless, at least something, but it is just not where it's supposed to be. It's not what it's supposed to be. You need bare minimum 5 to 6 rounds T side of Inferno. Let's say 5 is what I'm really aiming at all times for any team that's playing Inferno consistently. And the statistics for Coalesce, perhaps comparatively to Apeks, not the best, right? Maybe, you know, Apeks has a bit of a higher chance of getting a few more pot shots, few more round wins here and there. Still, I don't know. It feels like there's a lot lacking, a lot of lack of cohesion, I should say. Once you get that first entry, you really gotta capitalize on top of it. Unfortunately, you know, the previous round, I mean, it was more of an unlucky round than anything else. Right.
A bit of a tricky one. Now, though, after mid control, after brackets, CT side as well, they're gonna let them have it. JL, he's playing long, he smoked him off again. I think that's fine. As you mentioned, a couple of pot shots through smokes. JL delivers on 1. Now comes the next possible phase of attack. Utility is doing a lot of damage here. Shine, does he think? Apparently does not even allow for that to happen as JL takes 2. Yeah. More than he's worth there in that position, but a Christian making this doable now. Bomb can't be planted at a 2v3 with him and Leaf here. See what they can manage to get up to. What are they cooking? All pulls from long, 2 plays from short. Nok needs to be deleted here, needs to be taken out, but yes, Jacob delivers on the first that kicks in with the trade. Can't find the shots they needed to. And alas, Apeks, they walk away with a 9th. And I hate to say it, but it's looking like the individuals, they're still not waking up here. And it's starting to be a little bit too late here.
Yeah,
I'm sure I mean, it's not it's not too late just yet, but it's getting close to it.
I mean, it's getting close to being too late regardless, right? No matter how we want to spin this, this is now or never moment for Coalesce. Anything less than 4 or 5. I mean, I'm lowering the bar pretty much every single moment here because you know, even with 4, I'd be happy if they could pull it out now. With 4, maybe they could still make it, but let's see if that actually happens. Kiksan pushes down middle, finds Shine. They completely, seemingly forgot about him. Bomb has been dropped on T-spawn stairway. God, the timing for Kristen. Yeah, it's just Apeks is playing and toying with their opponents now. They're toying with their food, and they're true to their name, man. The Apeks Predator. That's what they are.
They're peaking right now on this Inferno game here.
Pretty much. I mean, peak CS for Apeks, and they're showing us why you shouldn't toy with them on Anubis and why you should take them seriously on Inferno, even if their statistics are not perhaps the best to match up with the rest they're playing against. Oh, Leaf dead through the smoke. They spot the guy as well first. Yeah, this is just a disaster brewing, and no matter if HAVU gets the kill or not, he's already been singled out. 10-1. This is just a one-way train right now.
Yeah, it's... that, I mean, sure, maybe that gives them a little bit of hope for a buy, but again, that last shot, though. Right, like, you get the entry towards me, that's fine, that's all good. Like, you left the bomb, and it kicks, and he capitalized on a very minor opportunity, the smallest gap that he had, but he pushed through it, because absolutely was not expected by the T after 1 minute walk in mid.
The positives I see here for Coalesce is it's a good learning opportunity, a bit of a learning curve. You got a tough opponent. We didn't expect them to win. I mean, they're the underdog in this case. And we only hope for a good fight. And they gave us that on Anubis to a degree. They definitely showed that they have, you know, the tenacity to do so. But here on Inferno, it's a bit of a different story. And that's what I was really worried about. Their T-side didn't look as convincing on Anubis. And on Inferno, when you don't have a good T-side, this is what happens. A nice little attempt towards A, though. This could work still. They kind of get knocked easily. That's perfect. And can they continue like this? Nexus 3v3. There's still a chance they could win the round and maybe get something more on the board and soon here. As we're looking at a retake of A from long with a smoke covering the entries.
They got the nades, though. That's something. T-side as well, they got them just as much. But you gotta find the first Matador. Spotting him. As Lulu down in pit, that smoke towards long now is gonna be a bit of a hindrance to deal with. Molotov towards the back of site as well. Not the back of site, but most CT side they begin to make their way through, and now it is Leaf alone. Down to the last man standing around his site. As Kixon tries to chase him down. He's gonna find it, but it's no time.
Well,
Try, but finally Coalesce. Another on the board.
they got another. It's at least something. And
It's something to work with, but still, it feels like both the rounds they've gotten so far have been very much barely, by the skin of their teeth. They've actually managed to get them. This one specifically. But same as we said last time, you gotta show us right now why you picked this map, and you gotta show us why we should have any belief they can still bring this back.
exactly. Why you should, you know, why you need to trust the process, right? Well, Jacob refrags Leaf. Gets a little bit hectic here for a moment. Perhaps there's hope there yet. If they can get rid of Jacob on B, maybe they can push B and actually take it. But JL, man.
Got a little dicey. Thought he could have been a little interested, or play that a little bit differently, but was checked in the end. Now comes to the rest one, though. Towards mid, Stico, he waits and already spotting his shoulder.
One. Yeah,
take the head,
gets
make it
two. Whew. Yeah, they're just, you know, it's outclassing their opponent, and it's nothing wrong with that. Apeks, as I said, they're a team that are very hard to beat when they're on their A game, when they're feeling it. They're solid as all hell, and it's not impossible to get rid of them in a map like this, where you're dealing with so much firepower from a start side team, even if they're not on point at all times. You know, they've been together for a little while now. They've got their ducks in order, we can say in a way, right?
And now, though, moving on to round of 14, and well, as I said, Apeks and their A game is hard to deal with. What makes it even harder to deal with is got to be down to the pistols. I mean, sure, maybe a round like this where you have basically nothing to lose and everything to gain is exactly when things start going a little bit right for you. And success is finally there. But we'll see, Jacob. He's going to find himself one and maybe another one as well. Good counter flash as well from the CT side, and will allow Jacob to walk away. Won't be punished. CT side to get away with the 5v4 advantage for now. That only lasted for a while, though. For now.
Nice deagle shot, yeah. If they get rid of Kixon, this is B side open, and they're gonna get rid of him. The rotation is slow. Okay, this is perfect. Coalesce. They've got some. Oh, JL disconnected. Yeah, he has to have. Right? Surely.
The DC to have a bit of a slow alt tab, maybe. I would. Oh, he's back. He's turning.
Apparently still working. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, the bomb will be planted.
At least no
Not
one has
the
played
only one.
Stico. Bomb goes down as well. Find a retake again. A
Are
third
we
round.
sure
only
he's not
because.
finished?
Who knows? I'll have to take a look here. JL though, let's see what you can do. As you walk through the smoke, there's a one-man watching. He still finds him. A knock with a trade as well. Okay. Down to the 1v1. Did they know? But the first two plays were removed. And now where's the last one? You gotta smoke. You gotta flash as well. Knock. He's gotta make dogs work for this. Either way, now have to bait him out, and there goes Tech 9. A third. Coalesce. They're breaking out of this prison they've been put into. However, slightly.
At least
Slowly.
something's going right.
The old saying goes, is it a little bit too late?
Well, that's
That's what we're trying to find out here.
We'll find out soon enough. I mean, we are entering the final round here of the first half, and this round will, as I said, 4 to 5. 4 is really just, you know, kind of scratching the...
That's where you need the pistol.
the
That's the
surface.
sort of scenario.
Yeah, it's like if you get 4 rounds T-side, yeah, sure, it's still doable, no denying that, but you really gotta need the pistol, the second round, the gun round. Those are the 3 main ones, and then usually one more for free. So, you know, so you can kind of even out sooner rather than later, because if you lose any of those 4 rounds, you're going to be facing the music of 13, 14, 15 pretty soon, and that's not something you can afford, especially when you're on the CT side. You start losing money. Yeah, good luck with getting that under control, you know, by hand of Deagle only. I think many people forget the fact that, yes, you can make a comeback with 4 rounds, but you got to consider the fact that you need some vital round victories on that second half. And when you're on the CT side, especially, as I said, economy is not in your favor. It really isn't. And in order to play effective CT side of Inferno, you need utility and you need pitch perfect communication. Without that, you're going to be running in the dark. And apparently, we have received just the info right now.
I believe we know why JL stopped last round.
Yeah. Hopefully his mouse didn't die because it's wireless. Because, yeah.
I mean, most wireless can be just plugged in, played with wired, but I don't know. It's taken a while either way to solve the issue we might have here. Hopefully, it's nothing too major, as you said, but it is what it is right now, so we'll just have to live with it. But I'm hearing the chat ticks. That usually means people asking, ready?
And then there's one guy.
Timer.
I went to the toilet, be right back, kind of thing.
Are you guys ready? No, sorry, one to the toilet.
Yeah, that was a classic move we used to do back in the day as well.
Like someone's got attack, pause, or whatever. It's like, all right, I'm gonna take a quick link. Be right back. But this time we are back, round 15, and as you said, for Coalesce, this is getting close to do or die, or well, may potentially already be there. We'll see though. What does this round hold? CT side has They're pushed down with 2. What, down with 3 now? But respond with 2 of their own. Stico does manage to escape. The B side still has Nog defending with a smoke as well, buying time. Problem is that CT side get a little bit closer. The bomb can be recovered, but now it is down to leave suddenly. And JL, he's got to spot the bomb any second as well. This is just a problem for Coalesce now. It started off so well.
Yeah. Yeah, it really did. It really did. I mean, all I can say is this round started with them pushing down middle into second mid, and they got away for it for free, and that's it. There's not really much to single out. We're going to go into a halftime break and see you real soon. Well, this is going to be hard. Just like going to sleep is hard, isn't it, Nexus?
It's very hard, but you know what? Not that hard.
There you go. That's the way to
No, I mean,
put it.
no, I actually mean it. You know, I went to bed. You know, a couple days ago, I went to bed very early. I was feeling rested in the morning. I was too bored to get out of bed, so I slept for a couple more hours. Next thing I know, bam! I wake up at 4 a.m. or 4 p.m.
Well.
I was just too bored to get out of bed, man.
Okay, I'll let's say I believe.
That's a whole nother kind of worms.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of issues you gotta look at. But issues on the side of Coalesce is what we're going to be looking at soon enough. If they lose this pistol, as we said, right, 12-3, even worse than our predictions, than our expectations. Coalesce, they really got to win this. This is it. You know, this is the first round of their potential comeback. It's this round. They do it, maybe we can see something different. That's it. There's no other way about it.
In towards apartments next. Out of the apartments next.
Okay.
In the pit. Out the pit. This is going swimmingly. Towards banana. Out of banana last man.
In
didn't
towards
go so
banana,
swimmingly that
out
last.
towards banana. Yeah, it really didn't it?
You can suck on this.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess you can.
I'm trying to figure out how would that work? No, dropping the Molotov just so the T side don't get it. The shy knows they're gonna hunt him down and knock. There's an old saying you've been saying. What is it again?
Oh my God! What are you asking
He's the
me
one
right
who
now?
knocks.
Oh yes.
There you go.
I mean, at this point, the whole of Apeks is knocking with him, right next to him. Like they're all standing in front of the
Apeks
door. All five
or no,
people
Knock
just
is the one who's just knocking on the door. The rest with a wrecking ball.
Oh yeah, the rest are they have sledgehammers basically, right? So, yeah. Oh boy, what a disaster! It's what it's been, disastrous. And as much as I wish that wasn't the case, we can't really make this any better. Unfortunately, we really can't. Like the story is being written on its own, and the story here it's quite clear. It's the end of the road here for Coalesce, but they've come far. I mean, I congratulate them on getting this far. So I think that's an achievement in itself, and if they can keep to it, I don't think they're like. They're making some mistakes here and there, absolutely, but it's more about just playing together for a longer time to get to know each other better, to be prepared better for, even a loss like this where you got to take the mental aspect of it into account.
I mean, the core of this team has been playing together for a couple of years now, almost. Being Leaf, Dogs, and Shine. They've been together for a while, but right now something just is not clicking in this game. Whether or not we're just not seeing them at their best, it's not happening.
Yeah, just not meant to be, right? Yeah, I guess you're right. They've been playing all year last year, so...
Even before that, way back in Vex, the core was still together.
Yeah.
It just ain't happening right now. Today, bit of an off day
not
for
their
them.
day. Not their day, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, though, on 7 kills. They're at least on the same page. But besides that, there's... I don't know, not even that. There's nothing really going well for Coalesce. Inferno. Too big of a hurdle, and that is kind of what our pregame did come down to. We talked a lot about how Apeks, the individual skill ceiling is on every one of these players is basically insane. We've seen it throughout history.
Yes.
Pico off MOUZ Sports when he got to be in star positions, an absolute menace. I mean, Jacob, right before he was being benched in phase, and right after, he's been posting insane numbers. Nog, I mean, I think he just speaks for himself. He's been fantastic, consistent overall for a long time. And JL in this Apeks lineup, he's been posting like almost 1.2 ratings every now and then, like consistently, almost consistently on rifles, like insane. So. Yeah, things are going well for them.
Yeah, we'll never forget the Mad Lions run that JL did back in 2021. I think that was one of the sickest, like, up-and-coming performers. With a bit of a downfall later on, just your... But Still, I agree with you. Like there's so much potential on Apeks that unfortunately for today, when you're not on your A game, it's not impossible to bring them down. Yeah, you just can't challenge it, and that's what we're seeing here. Straight up difference in both experience. So let's not take away too much from Coalesce, obviously, but also in the way these guys are prepared. And right now, I mean, it's an eco. This is not much to be expected of for performance-wise. You know, this is a quick W for Apeks. It's 15 pretty much within the next few moments. Okay, Kristen and HAVU, they're making their mark. At least they're getting something
at this point,
done.
it's just consolation kills.
Yeah, getting a weapon for the prize, you know, of the round, I guess.
Yeah, this one though, Apeks seemingly are going to be moving it forward unless this is now the biggest fumble of all time. It really is getting to that point.
There is this sad kind of reality that we live in, that I've seen Apeks fumble results like these before.
Knocks on 3 deaths, by the way.
Yeah, I mean...
17-3.
I was about to get to that, right? The thing is, I've seen Apeks lose massive advantages before, and the one I remember most fondly of the advantage they were at, I believe they were at like 12-3, something like this on the halftime, maybe 11-4 on the halftime, and they lost it like 16-13, something like this. The point being, you know, I've seen them lose advantages like this, but against much more consistent and much tougher teams where they really put their heart and soul into the first half and then unfortunately kind of ran dry on the second, which happens from time to time, even to the best. But here, I feel like there's just too much of a gap between the two, and I know we're repeating ourselves a lot right now. I know we're kind of like a broken record.
You just brought back a lot of memories of Apeks and their curses back in the day.
Yeah, I know, and I hope that I haven't done the thing and cursed their chances here. That'd be a damn shame. You know, I hope they don't blame me for it. But fact of the matter,
I mean, this is just a different showing altogether, and here as well. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, hold on. This Kixon getting a little bit ahead of himself. This is now Dox sneaking in as well, and round 4. As we've been talking, it seems like they've found at least something here on the CT side. Pushing down to Banana, punishing towards A. All that mounts up to around 4 for Coalesce. Now something, you can start to build on this at least, get a couple of rounds, make sure this is not as one-sided as it seems.
Yep.
Just get a couple of rounds.
Try, do what you can.
Yep. Make the CT side at least count for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a lot of rounds. Really, a great deal of rounds they got to make up for. So, let's hope and see that they can do so. As we go into round 20. I mean, 16 frags on Stiko, 19 on JL, 17 on both Kixon and Knock, and Jacob with 14. The whole team's just popping off. Unfortunately for Coalesce, everybody's in the range of 9 to 8, but nobody has more than 10. That speaks for itself. As much as I hate to say that, it really does.
Oh. Flashbangs in. Kixon out, T side. Trying to make their way in, but Dox revealed his position towards CT. Still, we'll find the shoulder of JL.
Crossfire.
Collected at T side.
Very good crossfire. Okay. Man, have I really done it? Have I really cursed it all? No way.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, let's make sure I haven't done that. Gotta burn some incense. Oh, Knock.
Lightning fast.
Oh man, you can't even turn around and look at the doors by the time he's already opened them. A 1v2, 25 seconds. He's got enough time to win this. And if he checks wood, well, he checks tree, but doesn't take the shot. Usually you get a few pot shots through the smoke if you can. And oh boy, both are so low. He takes the bomb. Does he peek in? No, he's going to go for the plant. I kind of get this. You know, he doesn't want to risk being caught off guard. Gets the first. Fake plants again. No, this time he's gonna hold it. And Shine doesn't want to risk that. Shine does. No! Shine! No! No! Shine! Are you kidding me? Ace clutch one hard. Can he pull it off? Yes, he can! No! Just aced it, Nexus! He just aced it fully! What? My god, Knock! My god! Oh no! Coalesce! I mean, look, I love it. I love them as much as any other team, but that was painful. That was painful. Knock just single-handedly destroyed them.
I don't even know what to say.
There is not much to say, unfortunately, my friend. There really isn't. That we can't take away too much from there. That was sick. That was insane. That was ludicrous.
Unholy, actually.
That was yeah. Somebody call a paladin. We gotta cleanse this place. Cleanse this stream. Get some. Oh my God. Get some exorcism going on. Cause Knock, what has possessed him? I don't know.
You wanted to end it, man.
He was like, dude, it's about to be 9 o'clock. I've got dinner with my girl. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Literally. With a victory. Oh, wow. Wow.
That is insane. That's just an insane way to end it. Like, it was a one-sided map to begin with, and then you just do that. I mean, go ahead, sure.
1v5.
They just couldn't. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop Apeks. That was the entire story of this match.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the story we can go for, and that's it. That's pretty much like individual brilliance. It all comes back to what we said earlier at the start of the game. It's the skill ceiling that Apeks have compared to Coalesce. There is no comparison. You can't make that comparison. You know, it's simply just so much higher for Apeks, the experience and everything in between. There's just such a difference that if Apeks is having their day, or at least if they're playing, you know, on normal mode, they're better. If they're playing on crazy mode that we're seeing right here, they're just too good.
Yeah, that's about it. And, oh, now as well we know the quarterfinal matchup as well. Yeah. My God, though, Apeks. I want to see more of that. That was insane. From map 1 from Anubis, they were showing us a lot of different ways to approach things, or what we missed in our previous game. Let's put it that way. There was some things we wanted to see from HAVU Illuminar game. They weren't really doing it. Apeks, they showed us exactly what we wanted to do. B mid aggression, A aggression, taking it towards mid as well. They showed all of that. Coalesce, I mean, yeah, sure. It looked a lot better than I thought it would have been, or could have been as well from the first half as well. They did fight back a little bit. Then the gun runs came, then the individuals. Inferno, it continued with the individuals, and unfortunately, like I said, they could not match up. Now, there's no bad blood between, any of these teams, or either of these teams, Coalesce especially, but today was not
They've made
that
it
day.
this far. Yeah, they made it this far. That's respect in itself that they're able to push through the boundaries. That is a difficult Swiss stage. Let's not forget we had Nexus, we had Endpoint, Honoris, Into the Breach, and Gentium, Los Cogutos playing in the Swiss stage. Many a team that could easily both beat and be beaten by Coalesce. And in a way, you know, Coalesce was the underdog all the way, and they made it this far. They had even tougher opponents on the winner side of the bracket, but you know, next opponent would be Illuminar. Perhaps that would be an easier opponent for them than it is against Apeks. But then again, it is what it is, and that finishes today's broadcast of the round of 16. We still have tomorrow's broadcast of round of 16 coming up. We've got 4 games for you, lads and ladies. At 10 in the morning, we start with Big versus Spirit Academy. At 1 in the afternoon, Central European time, Falcons versus BLUEJAYS. At 4 in the afternoon, it's going to be Sprout versus iNation. And then at 7 in the evening, we've got Forza versus Young Ninjas. That's the schedule for tomorrow for the rest of the quarterfinals. But you and I are done for now, Nexus. What a way to finish off a quarterfinals here for us too. All I can say is I was pleasantly surprised by Apeks, and I'm happy to see them in such a form, and I just hope they can keep this up until the end. I've trusted last year that they could do this in 2023, and that's a start that I love to see.
Yeah, that's it though for us for today for the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more matches as I mentioned before. Until then, signing off. See you then.
I have A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. Simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage